The following is an excerpt of a recent PowerUp webinar on job hunting and survival in today's economy. In this excerpt, we examine how to prepare for a job interview. When it's time for the interview, you need to do your homework, come prepared, and ask questions. This is just as true for job interviews as it is for client interviews. The client expects you to know their business, at least to some level, but don't get caught in the trap. And I've had a number of salespeople do this to me. They come in and they say, "Let me tell you about your business." And they go on blithely telling me what my business is. I know what my business is. I know it better than anybody else. To have somebody come in and say, "I understand your business and let me tell you what you need to know," is just highly offensive. But to come in and say, "I've had a chance to read your website. I've got a really good idea of how you're positioning yourself in the market, and I've got tons of questions." The employer, the client is going to sit back and relax to say, finally, somebody that wants to be a partner with me, not just simply an employee. Because interviews are for both answering and asking questions. They have two goals: to help the employer decide if they want you, and to help you decide if you want to work for them. If you just sort of sit back and listen to the employer talking or listen to the client talking and talking and talking, but you don't volunteer any questions, the first thought that's going to go through the client's head is they are not interested in the job because they're not asking questions. You haven't done your homework. You're just going through the motions. It doesn't win you any brownie points at all. A good example, recently I advertised for an editor to help me put some edits together. And we got, I'd guess 65 or 70 resumes for a single editing position. We went through the resumes, and I cut that in half because some were roofers looking to make a career change. Others didn't understand what an editor did, and they send off resumes. And as I said, a resume is designed specifically to help an employer say no. So I got rid of half the people. I was down to 30. We took those 30 and we said, before we bring you in for an interview, go to our website. And if you like the website, then send me a note back and we'll schedule an interview. Well, as soon as they go to the website and they realize what my company does, that cut the 30 to 15. I still had 15 interviews to go through. But at least they were people that had seen the website and thought they were interested. So people would come in. We took 3 days to interview folks, and it was amazing to me. We would talk about the company. We would tell them what we were looking for, what we wanted, and we'd say, "So, do you have any questions?" And they were all sort of sitting back and saying, "Nope, you've explained it all." Why should I hire somebody like that? They don't have the brains necessary to come up with a single question for an interview. The only thing they want to know is, how much does it pay? Well, that's not somebody I want to bring on the team. I want to bring somebody on the team that wants to be here, that wants to learn, that wants to tackle new things. And they show that by asking questions. Finally, when you're wrapping up the client interview, as you're getting ready to do the quote or as you're getting ready to put the whole project to bed, always document your project in writing before you start. What is the client delivering? What are you expecting? What are you going to do? How many revision cycles are there? This is not the same thing as a contract. Most of our work doesn't have to have a contract, but all of our projects need to be documented in writing as an email and sent to the client. Said, "Here's what I think I'm doing for you. Here's what you're doing. Here's what I'm doing. Does this meet your expectations?" It's so much easier to solve these problems at the beginning with an email exchange until you guys are finally happy with what's happening. Then you say, "Okay, here's the email. Just say, write back, 'I agree,' include a copy," and I print that out. It isn't a contract. It's just simply a detailed outline of what's going on. For really big projects that have got hundreds of thousands of dollars involved, then I'll get lawyers involved and put contracts together. But most of my projects are short-term, relatively small dollar amounts, and will still list in an email that everybody agrees to, this is what we're going to be doing. One of the things that I'm really clear on is how we handle changes. I generally allow people 3 revisions. So I'll do an editor's cut, they'll come back with comments. I'll do a fine cut, they'll come back with comments, and I do the final cut, and that's what we work with as the master. I'm happy to do more, but I'm not happy to do more for the same price. So once they start to do more changes than 3, I'm going to start to charge extra money. And I will list that as part of that outline document. How many revisions do we have? What kind of changes do we have? When do I start adding on billing when they start to change the spec of the project? Because that's what kills you. It's changes. And you want to make sure that you clearly define when a change is and is not included in the budget. That's why documenting it in writing before you start is important. This has been an excerpt of a recent PowerUp webinar looking at job hunting and survival in today's economy. For the complete version of this online training, please visit our store at larryjordan.biz/store and look for webinar 110. Membership is a great value. If you're looking to stretch your training dollars, subscribe to our video training library and save money. Access all of our training for the low monthly price of $19.99, which covers both Apple and Adobe software. That's more than 600 movies, hundreds of hours of training, all in-depth and up-to-date. We add new movies every week. To learn more, visit larryjordan.biz/subscriptions. And thanks.